In today's unit spotlight for Crusader DE, we will be talking about Skirmisher. It costs 25 gold to recruit, it has medium HP and low armor, it is a cheap hybrid unit that utilizes Javelin for long range attacks and a dagger in close combat. But how good is Skirmisher? When and how to use it? Let's find out. Here we have range attack speed per minute if the game speed is 90. We have Slinger, that's the best at 98. Arabian Bowman and Heavy Camel are 76, followed by Horse Archer at 70. Then European Archer with 42. Then Crossbowman with 24. And Skirmisher would be only 12. So Skirmisher by far the worst performance here. When it comes to range, Horse Archers and Heavy Camels have 38. Archers, Arab Archers, and the Crossbows effective range is 36, although if you click manually, they will be able to fire up to 38. Skirmisher is 24 and Slinger only 15. This means that Skirmisher has 2/3 of an effective range of an archer or a crossbowman. In 1v1 range exchange, Skirmisher performs quite poorly. It will lose to all units with the exception of Slinger. Let's analyze the situation. So, versus Crossbowmen, it would take 5 javelin shots from Skirmisher to kill Crossbowmen, while Crossbow will actually take only 2 shots to kill Skirmisher. Then we have all the bow units performing the same, having the same exact damage. That applies to Archers, Arab Archers, Horse Archers, and Heavy Camel. But they perform differently when it comes to actually tanking javelin shots from Skirmisher, and that means that 6 shots are enough to kill Skirmisher, but Archer and Arab Archer can only tank 3 before going down. Horse Archer will go down after 4, and Heavy Camel after 37. Amazing. Well, Slinger is the only one that will lose to Skirmisher. It would take 10 slingshots to kill Skirmisher, while Skirmisher will only need 2 shots to kill Slinger. So far, Skirmisher performed the worst in all the major statistical categories, but where it performs really well would be Destruction of Portable Shield constructed by engineers. It would take Skirmisher only 10 shots to take it down. Crossbow would be 135, while Bow is about 350. Well, even though Skirmisher is very slow at firing, it's still most efficient when dealing with portable shields. Let's test the speed of these guys. So it seems like Skirmisher has the same speed as Archer. Of course, it's slower than the fastest unit in the game, in the night. Then we have Macemen, we have Spearmen, of course. Pikemen is the last. Skirmisher has the option to fill in the moat, and it will do it as fast as any other unit in the game. When it comes to ability of a Skirmisher to destroy walls, it's not the best, but Skirmisher is not meant for this purpose. And it's significantly better than Spearmen here, maybe 1/3 faster. It is solid against buildings if you're raiding. Let's see how good the Skirmisher is when it comes to surviving pitch. I feel like it's better than other range units. Equally as good as Monk. So I would say about mid-tier unit. Let's test Skirmisher in 1v1 melee situation versus other range units. So the first one would be European Archer. Okay, it seems like Skirmisher won by half of each HP left. Now, time is for the Crossbowmen. So it wins with about 1/4 or 1/3 of HP left. Now we have Arabian Bowman. It's very close, but it seems like Arabian Bowman came on top, barely surviving this exchange. And now we have Slinger. Slinger is not that great of a unit, but let's see how it performs in melee. It seems like it's very close. you know, our guys survive with about 1/5 of HP. Now we have Horse Archer. Pretty good. Pretty good. Actually, it managed to beat Horse Archer. Again, very close call, but came on top. And the final boss would be Heavy Camel. Kind of a hybrid unit. But Skirmisher is also a hybrid unit, so let's see which one is better. Kind of an easy situation. Heavy Camel is left with about half an HP left. Let's check melee performance versus other melee units.
You can count on a piece of cake.
Very successful. The next one is Monk. So let's see how it performs. It's a really good unit in melee.
How might we help?
Interesting. Only one javelin was thrown its way and managed to win. We have Macemen here, and Macemen is very much resistant to javelin fire. I think it takes 8 javelin to kill Macemen. So, very successful attempt for Macemen. It lost 1/3 of its HP though.
Yes, boss.
Now it's time for Assassin to do its thing. Oh, it seems like it was missed. So, Assassin did a great job. Now, we have a Sapper. Let's go. Sapper is not great in melee.
We are under attack.
But let's see the exchange. Barely survived. And that difference might be just the javelin itself. Let's check out Lance Camel. Lance Camel is very fast. But it's not very sturdy when it comes to range attacks. Still managed to lose a lot of HP. So, Skirmisher is an interesting unit, and we're gonna check it out in mass combat. Let's see how these guys perform versus archers, and archers should be countering them. So we have 100 archers versus 100 skirmishers. Let's go. We're gonna try to zigzag. It's not going well, I can say that for sure. We managed to kill how many? 41. We have exactly the same scenario, but we're gonna try not to zigzag. We're gonna try to go straight for them. Let's see what happens. We're already doing better than before, I believe. But even then, it's not enough. So if you're facing archers on the ground, it's better just to charge them. Well, because skirmishers are skirmishers, they're meant for open fields. So let's test how they perform. We have 100 skirmishers versus 120 spearmen. And let's see which one wins. So we're gonna try to kite. They're quite good in this scenario, as you can tell. They're faster than spearmen. They're even better in the one-on-one situations. Now we have 200 monks, and we know that monks are really good at melee, but they are slow and susceptible to fire, so let's just send them over here, put them in aggressive stance, and we're gonna try to kite them. Man, continue to fall back. That's pretty good. Oh yeah, they are coming in on their own. We still have 100 troops. We haven't lost a single man.
مثل قط الصحراء نذهب أنا أرى ذلك
So skirmishers seem not to be bad in these scenarios, but they have to be managed.
أرى ذلك مثل قط الصحراء لنذهب أنا أرى ذلك
So I will compare them to a degree to horse archers.
لنذهب
They will fire and then they will relocate, which is pretty cool. Over here, we have 60 Macemen, which are much more expensive than these guys. Let's put them into aggressive stance, and we're gonna attack one of the guys. They are also faster than monks.
مثل قط الصحراء لنذهب
So this will be an interesting situation.
أنا أرى ذلك
We're faster, of course. The problem is that our guys have to slow down in order to fire. So we're taking some casualties now.
مثل قط الصحراء لنذهب أنا أرى ذلك
But we should not forget that there is a huge discrepancy in price. These units.
أنا أرى ذلك مثل قط الصحراء لنذهب أنا أرى ذلك مثل
Yeah,
قط
we only lost 2 men, which is very impressive. We have 50 Camel riders versus 100 skirmishers, so let's see how it goes. These guys will be set aggressive. Let's try to kite them.
أنا أرى ذلك مثل قط الصحراء لنذهب أنا أرى ذلك مثل قط الصحراء لنذهب أنا أرى ذلك مثل قط الصحراء
That's pretty impressive.
لنذهب
That's pretty impressive. They were chasing us all the way. And there's a big price difference. Again, similar scenario. Now we have 100 Lance Camels, and we're gonna set them to aggressive stance, try to charge, and try to flee with those guys.
أرى ذلك مثل قط الصحراء لنذهب
They are faster,
مثل قط الصحراء لنذهب أنا أرى ذلك
yeah, it seems like it's more difficult now. And also, we should remember that it's very difficult to maneuver, especially like a multiplayer battle or a skirmish. You would probably not have this much of space to begin with.
لنذهب
But yes, skirmishers are really good.
أنا
If you can maneuver them properly, they can punch above their weight class for sure. Now we have a different situation with better armor units. Remember that Arabian swords are not that good versus range units. They're excellent in melee, but versus range, they kind of struggle. But still, they have some armor, and let's see how they perform. We're going to put them in aggressive stance, and let's see what happens.
مثل قط الصحراء لنذهب
We're going to try to kite them, and of course, we have great speed advantage over them.
أنا أرى ذلك
They already ate a few volleys. This is, I think, the third one.
مثل قط الصحراء لنذهب
The fourth one, they have barely,
أطلب مساعدتي
absorbed any damage.
أنا أرى ذلك
This is because
مثل قط
skirmishers are not that good against armor. They're actually quite bad.
لنذهب
So they can outrun heavier units, but they will literally do 0 damage.
سكاكين
And it will be very difficult to micro them properly when you have to do everything else during the game.
أنا أرى ذلك مثل قط الصحراء لنذهب
They're doing some damage, but it's just not enough. Not fast enough as well. Skirmishers counter lighter troops due to their solid range and high speed. They can outrun heavier units with ease but will do almost no damage. Contrary to what one might expect, their javelins are good versus light troops and almost useless versus armor. They are a perfect unit to deal with spearmen. The problem is that archers are already doing their job well, and no one is recruiting spearmen anyway. This doesn't mean the skirmisher is useless. Quite contrary, it is cheap, requires no weapon, and is easy to recruit. In the open field battle, if used correctly, as we could see, they can trade extremely well with more expensive units. Skirmisher is a poor man's horse archer and should be used in the same way. They can excel in early game aggression due to their low price. They can be amassed and used to harass the enemy's economy or protect your own. Skirmishers are vulnerable to all range units with exception of slingers. They get destroyed by heavy camels and knights. Lack of proper skirmish mechanics when the unit in question will run away on its own in order to avoid melee with enemy troops is making skirmisher more micro intensive, but if used properly they can punch above their weight class. What do you think about skirmishers? What unit would you like to see next? Consider liking, sharing, and subscribing, or even becoming a channel member.